there are some points that you need to consider when you plan an integrated pedagogy with inbuilt assessment for foundational literacy and numeracy skills. What do you think about this, Maushmi?
I absolutely agree with you, but ma'am, please tell us how to include ongoing assessment in our classroom processes, because sometimes we do forget to include certain things which are important for the children, and also we do not know how to plan for assessment or for observation. Hence, you know, we need some help.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Also, if you could, it would be helpful if, you know, you could give us help where the children do not understand how that they are being assessed. Instead, we assess them.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that would be something new for us to learn as well.
Right. Yeah, I also agree. I think first of all, Maushmi, we need to identify the concepts and skills of foundational literacy and numeracy. So that, you know, like accordingly we can plan the pedagogical practices for each of the LOs, and then we need to remember that we need to plan the pedagogical practices so that we can reach to the competencies or the learning outcomes related to your class, like related to each of the teachers' class.
Right.
And then I think we need to align the activities and pedagogical practices.
What do you mean by aligning activities and experiences in FLN with learning outcomes? How do you do that?
Okay, I think we'll begin with Sandhya so that she can, she'll be in a better position to explain first, and then I'll add the example.
Well, I am very happy to have this question here. You see, learning outcomes are generally the benchmarks, or we call them as competencies, and these are decided class wise and subject wise. So, when you are doing anything in your classroom, you are just ensuring that the children are moving in the direction of achieving that learning outcome. For example, if you are looking at the slide which is running, so under developmental goal 1, which is that children maintain good health and well-being, there is one learning outcome which is written on the slide. So, when you are observing the children, or when you, let us say when you are assessing the children, you must keep in your mind the learning outcome, and then you should see whether the children are progressing to achieve that learning outcome. In case you feel that they are misdirected, or they are not able to follow, or they are not progressing in the right direction, there you should check them, rather you should guide them. So, this is aligning that whatever you are doing, whatever you are assessing in the light of the learning outcomes.
Yeah, in addition to what Sandhya said, I just wanted to add one more example so that it will help you to make it, like understand much better way. I think we can create some questions and probe those questions to the children during the observation when they are performing, when they are doing the activities. Let me give you an example. When the children are doing the pretend reading, we would normally see that during the pretend reading, children are moving their finger beneath the print, and they are moving their finger sometimes left to right. So, we need to observe how the children are moving, understanding the print, how the children are moving their finger on the print. So, this will give you an understanding of print awareness. So, this will become a print awareness assessment. Another very good example for foundational numeracy is block building, where often we see that children place the biggest block at the bottom and the smallest block at the top, and also use the mathematical vocabulary big, bigger, biggest, small, smaller, smallest. So, this helps the teacher and for observation and assessment, and it becomes very easy for the teacher to align the pedagogical practices with each of the LOs. So, I hope, Maushmi, now it is clear to you, and now I would like Sandhya to speak on anything how we can inform the parents regarding this.
Very good question, Romila. Again, an interesting thing. You know, when we are talking about foundational stage, it's very important that teachers and parents, they are working closely, and there is a strong bond between home and school. Whatever children are doing at school should be supported at home. So, it is important that teachers inform the parents and sometimes even involve the parents in whatever they are doing for enhancing FLN skills of the children in the classroom. Well, Mashmi, I hope you are doing such things.
Yes, we do inform the parents whatever is being done with the children in the class. Like for example, if they are doing a science experiment in the classroom, then we inform the parent that this particular experiment has been done in the class and they should also repeat it over the weekend. And the parents do repeat it. In fact, the parents don't have to repeat it. The children tell the parent how to do it.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. So I think everybody has, like agreed, and Sandhya also rightly said that prior planning is very, very important for FLN skills, and we need to keep in mind the children's needs, interest, abilities, and context is mind, so that the teacher can plan accordingly the complete week plan based on and focused on FLN. So I think, Mashmi, do you have any question left now?
That means we have to keep specific time for special targets or goals.
Yeah, I'll say yes. In the FLN document, if you see, we have certain lakshya, we call them lakshya or the targets.
Yeah.
So, there we are mentioning certain goals which should be achieved at the foundational stage by class 3 or by class 5 latest. So, it is important that you plan some activities, you give some activities for home which are directed towards those targets and lakshyas.
Yes, here I want to add that please do involve children in the total assessment process. And but at the same time, we shouldn't make children pressurized, like so that they should not feel that they are being assessed.
Right.
And teachers should keep on asking the questions like make it more engaging. For example, certain questions which we commonly said what if type questions, like why do you think so? For example, if the children are building blocks, they can ask like what you have made, why do you kept the red tar at the top or the smallest block at the top? What do you think if it will happen in this way? What do you think if we would fix in this way? So, let them think critically and let them communicate with you, like what they are thinking. So, probing questions, asking questions where the children can listen to you and give their own answers is very, very good. And I think teachers need to pen down their observations, like whatever they are observing, it is very, very important to pen down the observations and record so that assessment become easy and reporting become easy, like the teachers can assess the performance of children against each LOs. So, I think now Sandhya ji should add to it.
Well, I would say then as you have already mentioned that assessment should be threat free, it should be informal, yet we should not lose the purpose of assessment.
Yes. Finally, Mashmi, do you want to add something?
No, I would say that planning is so important for FLN.
So, we all agree that
Yeah.
prior planning is very, very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
And thank you so much, Mashmi. Thank you so much, Sandhya.
Thank you.
I think and I hope that Mashmi, you will share all these assessment strategies and the power of observation with your fellow colleagues.
Definitely.
And, and take it further and make it a regular practice.